Ahoy and happy Friday. I am Ashley, your creative captain at Logo Identity. Welcome to Brand Compass Live, where I help small business owners build brand systems they can rely on so growth feels easier and decisions take less energy. Today, we are talking about connections. And I actually got this idea from one of my connections. It is quite the journey when you're going to start a business, and being able to stay in business can be really hard. A lot of businesses fail really early on, and when you are a sole proprietor or sole business owner, it is a lot harder because you're wearing all the hats. You have to do all the things, and you can be really isolated and feel like you're doing it all on your own. And the good thing is we don't have to. That's what the connections are for. So today we're going to talk about, the types of connections that you can look for, when it's really good to let go of some of them. And I'm also going to talk about some of the connections that I have had and that have helped me in life and business, and kind of talking about how you can build your inner circle, and then we'll jump into Q&A. So the kind of theme for this going solo is the buoy, because it's kind of keeping you afloat. When you make these connections, you have your inner circle and it's keeping you going. The good thing is you're not the only one. Even if you are running a sole proprietor or you're a 1-person to 2-person LLC, you have started your business, you are successful, you are making the sales, you are tired of doing all of the things, holding everything together on your own. And maybe you've also invested in support before, but it didn't feel aligned. It wasn't helping you do the things that you were hoping to do. And thankfully, there is a better way than doing it alone. You don't need to wear all the hats yourself. Support isn't a sign that you're failing, and the right connections can help you get the steadiness you need so things don't feel overwhelming. When you have a good support system, you have connections that matter, then your business becomes more sustainable. So connections can lighten the weight of doing everything alone. They can bring clarity when you feel stuck, and they can help your business kind of run when you need to step away, like an automation. And the goal isn't more hustle, it's steadiness that you can trust. So where do we find these connections? Family and friends is definitely the first place most of us start, especially when we are small business owners. When you have family and friends that you have a good relationship with, you'll know because they give you loving support that keeps you going. You want to find the connections that, cheer you on. As for niche neighbors, these are businesses that have the same audience as you, but don't do the same thing that you do. So they're really good to collaborate with. And then industry peers, these are your accountability buddies. They give you encouragement. They have a similar goal to you, and they value community over competition. They want everyone to win. And then service providers, these connections are for the skills that you don't have, that you don't want to or have the time to learn yourself. Or maybe you did learn them, but you're just too burnt out doing everything else. So when you have service providers that can fill in these skill gaps, then you have fewer hats to wear. And then communities, these are great for growth connections. So you can have them help you think long term. They're just there for support and to share ideas. There's lots of different kinds of communities. It can be personal, it can be business, it can be kind of somewhere in between. But they are another really great place to find connections for your inner circle. So for a strong inner circle, you have to think of some very specific traits. You need encouragement. You need trustworthy advice. You need support. You need help with accountability, so you're actually accomplishing those goals, the skill gaps we talked about, and also values. You want people in your inner circle who have values that are similar to yours. That way there's less friction and you feel more authentically connected to them. And when you are looking at the connections that you have, so you can decide who is really in your inner circle, you need to think about what you're investing. And that isn't always money. Sometimes that's time or energy. Think, has this kind of support been truly helpful before? Does this support the current season I'm in? Does this feel steady and aligned, or is it draining me? And can I afford it twice without strain? So sometimes you have tried something, say a free or low ticket offer before from someone, and they have really over delivered. And you're like, this kind of person is the person that will help me succeed. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward to the next step with them. So whatever service that would be to help you in your business. But sometimes you're like, I didn't really learn anything from this, or I don't feel like this is the kind of thing I was expecting. Then you know that's going for that next service probably isn't a good fit. Also, if you are looking at the price tag and you're like, wow, that's going to make my bank account really tight, you probably shouldn't do it. If you can't afford it twice, you should maybe wait, budget for it later. There are other things that you can work on in your business until that is well timed for you. So everything doesn't have to happen right now. Let me see if I can find, sorry. I accidentally opened my affinity. Okay. So we have kind of covered the different areas of connections that you can have in your business and what questions to ask yourself. Now I wanted to just kind of share some stories. Let's see what we have in the chat. Oh, thank you, Michelle and Brittany, for joining us. Lovely to have you here. So I have created this live stream about connections because of one of my connections. She actually shared it with me and she was like, you don't do it all by yourself, and a lot of people feel like they do. So networking is a topic that could be really good. And I was like, you know what, that is really true. As a mom and a small business owner, it can feel isolating, but thankfully my family has been super supportive. It was a 4 adult to 1 child ratio as my son was growing up. So I had tons of support there. There was always somebody there if we needed help getting to a doctor's appointment, or if I needed to hop on a call with a client. That was one less thing I had to worry about because I had my family there. And I'm really, really lucky to have that. Another one is friends. I have had friends that have become clients, that have become my son's homeschool evaluator, and these the friendships just kind of evolve, and it's really nice to have someone that you can rely on and chat with who really just clicks with you, so that you have that loving support, that you don't have to worry about judgment or anything. So those connections were where I started before I even started this as an official business, before I considered making it my job. And then when it became my job, I made connections with other small business owners. So originally, back when I actually was on Facebook, and Instagram and Twitter and all that, I met Cody from Lou and Ed. She was a monster maker. She made monster storage for kids, so that it made it easier to clean up their rooms. She's not doing that anymore, but she did that for a really long time. She was even in Parents Magazine. She was really inspiring, and she actually invited me into a group that was called Store Envy something. It was for small business owners selling on Store Envy, and she introduced me to so many people, and I would not be where I am if she hadn't helped me make those connections and been there. She was fantastic. So that is a connection that I'm really grateful for. Another one is Crystal Clark. She offered a course for a little while. It was called Systemize Your Superpower. It was the best course I have ever done. It was helping me set up my systems with Dubsado for my business, but it was more than Dubsado. She was definitely someone who over-delivered. This course is no longer available, but she does still help people with their systems. So I will definitely share her link in the description and comments so that you can check her out if you need help with that. Highly recommend her. She really helped me figure out what I wanted my process to be like, my client experience to be like, and how to make all of the things sync with that. So it just turned into something that was so easy. And now I still use the course lessons every time I need to do something new for my business. A landing page, a new workflow in my Dubsado, deciding on canned emails, all of that. Super, super helpful connection. And then a new one, most recently, was LaShonda Brown from Bootstrap Biz Advice. So I have been wanting to do YouTube forever, and I just wouldn't do it. I have taken courses, I learned how to edit and everything, but it felt too daunting. And then I saw her video that was suggested based on another YouTuber I watch, and I saw that she was offering this workshop back in January for starting YouTube live streaming. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, that's exactly what I need. So I joined her membership, and it has been great. It really helped me be able to do this. So I'm so glad that I did that. I really love her membership. It's been really, really helpful. Now I can see how to use Canva in a fun way that makes planning and doing these live streams a lot easier. And she gave a lot of really good ideas on ways that I can improve in the future. So I'm really excited, and it also helped me kind of just dive in and start doing it instead of continually holding and putting it off. So I now am going to be doing live streams twice a month, every second and fourth Friday. If there is something that comes up, I'll probably just move it to the one before or after. Let's see, we got a question. Will I be holding any classes on how to rebrand a company in the future? Oh, that's an interesting question, Michelle. So I don't know if I'll be doing classes. I've not started any courses or anything, but we could maybe do a live stream or a series about rebranding your business for the future. Thank you for sharing that. I will write that down and kind of start brainstorming. That way you guys can think about how you might need or want a rebrand for your business, so that you can kind of plan that out. That's a really good idea. I know that since 2020, business has kind of felt, well, just life in general has just kind of felt like Groundhog's Day. It's just been this one really, really long year, it feels like, rather than it being 2026. Life kind of got put on hold, and then things got stretched out and slowed down. So hopefully the future for everyone will start to pick back up, not in a hustle way, but in a more steady way and reliable way, and so we can all succeed in our businesses and be excited about things that are coming up. So we're all making our goals and maybe exceeding our goals. That would be great. So yeah, that's a really good idea. Thank you, Michelle. I will talk about that in a future video or series if it turns into that. We'll see how much I end up brainstorming. So let's see. Does anyone have any stories or connections that they have had that they're really grateful for in their business or just life? I'd love to hear. If you're watching the replay, feel free to comment. I'd love to hear how you came across someone or a business that was just like, this changed everything for me. I wouldn't be where I am today without it. I know that I have so many more that I could share too. I mean, a lot of people have really helped me out. But the ones that I've talked about today, my family, my friends, Cody and Crystal and LaShonda, they really definitely have made some of the biggest impact on what I do. So I was really excited to share that with you all today. When I do the edited video later, I'll probably share some screenshots of their stuff too, so that you can see it while I'm talking about it. Michelle says, we have many customers that have helped us with our remodeling business. Referrals are key to our business. Oh, yes, that is such a good one. Referrals are great connections for your business. When your clients and customers love what you do and they are sharing it for you, that is a whole nother level of networking. I got a lot of my clients as well from referrals, and they are a really, really good connection to have. When you have someone that constantly rehires you or keeps shopping from you and they're spreading the word, that's a really good one. Thanks for sharing, Michelle. Yeah, that's a really good one. So this has been, let's see, Brittany says, I feel like I have a lot of times those really phenomenal support connections find us at random. Do you have any advice on trying to build our support system intentionally in this day and age? Yeah, that's a really good question, Brittany. Thank you. So building an intentional support system. Definitely those questions that we talked about, asking if it serves you. So if you are considering making a new connection, whether that's hiring or if you are, just kind of an in-person thing so that you have someone to talk to, you want to think about how much you have to give to the relationship, and also think about hold on. Okay, so I was thinking about this earlier before the live stream actually. When you think about relationships, give and take, a lot of people feel like they have like they're not getting enough out of a relationship, and it becomes draining. And a lot of the times we don't realize that it's not necessarily the other person, it's our expectations, and then we end up giving too much. So that's something to think about with new relationships too. Giving is great. I mean, I know that I love to give. It makes me feel good, and over delivering so that it can surprise and delight others is really good. But something that has really helped me kind of shift my mindset when I'm giving is to make sure I'm not giving too much, is will I feel any resentment if I don't get anything back from this? Because we don't want to have expectations from others and expect something back when we give. So that's one thing. And then also, because you are making connection, it is a two-way street. You need to think about what you are hoping to get from that connection. So if you are looking for, say, photography for your business, then you're going to have some bare minimum expectations that you're expecting from that photographer so that you are getting the results you want. And if it's not meeting those requirements for you, that's okay. You can say goodbye to that connection and look for a new one, because your inner circle shouldn't drain you. It should empower you, and it's okay if that inner circle continuously changes. And you don't have to completely cut people off either. They can go to your outer circle. So they're still there, but you are putting in less energy into that relationship because it just doesn't fit you as well as it used to. So I hope that was helpful, Brittany. Thank you for sharing that. That's a really, really good question. All right. So this has been a lot of fun talking about connection with you guys and gals. And I am thinking about so next week I won't be doing live stream, but I will be doing one after that. If there are any particular topics that you want to talk about, I did get one idea from Michelle about rebranding for the future. But if there's anything that you've had questions about that you'd really like to talk about for your business, then go ahead and leave that in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, and I will potentially do that for a future live stream. And my next live stream will be, let me double check, the second Friday in March. So March 13th will be the next live stream. So I hope that you all have enjoyed this, and I should be posting the edited video with all those examples on Wednesday of next week. So keep a lookout for that if you wanted to see those examples of the people I was talking about. And yes, happy Friday the 13th. That will be the next live stream. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you at the next live.